Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty fun stuff to go talk about over here, where we actually have some pretty big updates for some upcoming brand new AAA games, some little bit of game issues, bugs, some Spider-Man news, and everything else in between. So we just have like a bunch of random little stuff. So if you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. Also, the brand new link down below for the $50 off of the Samsung pre-order for the brand new phone line, so check that out down below. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream if you guys want to go and follow, hang it over there, and of course all the other usual various links. And let's go and dive into the video itself. So we actually had a pretty interesting news day today, more so kind of based on games and upcoming big games, because we actually saw some brand new studios and even a big studio coming up here for these next-gen consoles. So all around, let's go and talk about this, because there's just a lot of cool stuff. So very first and foremost, that we have some new EA news. Now I'm sure you guys know EA, one of the bigger companies out there in the whole gaming world. Actually had a really big announcement as of today with the new EA studio, Cliffhanger Games, announcing a brand new upcoming title based on Marvel's Black Panther. Now, this is kind of a cool thing because there is a lot of IPs that are not really necessarily being fully utilized, especially in the gaming sphere. And of course, I'm sure you guys know, everyone really does like the superhero vibes, whether it comes to movies or games or whatever. Good look is just think about Spider-Man 2, where a lot of people are going to buy that game, and a lot of people are going to play that game. It's just a beloved IP, and I do want to say Black Panther's definitely been moving its way on up in terms of one of the more iconic superhero IPs. So basically, get yourself the good details over here for the brand new single-player action-adventure game set to explore the vibrant world of Wakanda. So basically, Wakanda Forever, as we celebrate the 57th anniversary of Black Panther's comic debut this July, we're thrilled to announce Cliffhanger Games, a new AAA development studio based in Seattle, which I was crazy to go and see on how many things are even in Seattle in the first place. Seattle pretty much is the big gaming hub just in general. I know a lot of gaming things. Good examples of the Twitch and Amazon offices are in Seattle. We have things like Bungie. We have a lot of really cool game studios up here in Seattle. So, I mean, I'm Chicago myself. We got nothing. Chicago's kind of lame. So working on the original third-person single-player Black Panther game in collaboration with Marvel Games, their mission is to build an expansive and reactive world that empowers players to experience what it's like to have the take on the mantle of Wakanda's protector, the Black Panther. So really cool. I don't think I've ever actually seen a Black Panther game, at least to my knowledge, and I do kind of feel like this has good potential. I want to say I think Black Panther was maybe in the Avengers game though as well, but give me an individual brand new IP, I am down. So led by Kevin Stevens, Monolith Productions, Cliffhanger has already brought together accomplished talent with leaders from the critically acclaimed and innovative action-adventure game Middle-earth, Shadows of Mordor, which did have pretty good reception, I would say, along with veterans of top franchises, including Halo Infinite, God of War, cool with that, and Call of Duty as well. So kind of a really weird kind of smorgasbord of people, but nothing wrong with that. We're dedicated to delivering fans a definitive and authentic Black Panther experience, giving them more agency and control over their narrative than they have ever experienced in a story-driven video game. Wakanda is a rich superhero sandbox, and our mission is to develop an epic world for players who love Black Panther and want to explore the world of Wakanda as much as we do. This sounds actually really cool. I'm down with this. Granted, we haven't seen any good trailer or gameplay stuff so far, but either way, kind of cool. So development team at Cliffhanger Games will be working on a partnership with Marvel Games to ensure that we craft every aspect of Wakanda, its technology, its heroes, and our own original story with the attention to detail and authenticity of the world of Black Panther deserves. So it's really cool. They don't really have too many brand new AAA studios popping up. EA definitely does have the funding and money to go make and keep on developing all these AAA studios too as well. So I love seeing this. This to me, very cool. A very big thumbs up in my mind. We also have some really cool news when it comes to Square Enix. So as well, with even more brand new kind of big AAA games, Square Enix did, I think just as of today, sell over 180 million Final Fantasy copies, which is absolutely insane numbers to go think about. But Square Enix has had a lot of big news when it comes as these past few days for upcoming Final Fantasy remakes, and as well, maybe even throwing even more FF titles as well, maybe even more spin-offs too as well. And some folks even said, I would like to play Xenogears, said one shareholder. So basically with the previous, with these Pixel remaster successes, they may want to go pop in more games. So Square Enix is considering its plans for remastering old titles. Speaking recently as part of the company's 43rd annual shareholders meeting, a Q&A, Square's board was asked about the company's plans to remaster some of its older titles following the success of the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, which was released earlier this year. Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster was pretty well received. Are there plans to remaster other past titles? Personally, I would love to play Xenogears, asked one shareholder at the meeting itself. A member of Square's board replied, We will refrain from sharing information about new titles, so basically they don't want to go and leak stuff and like show trailers and stuff before they're ready, but we are considering various ideas within the company and the hope that you will look forward to forthcoming announcements. Now, if you guys have ever kind of gone through all this stuff, whenever you have a big kind of executive or CEO basically saying, hey, look forward to future news, hey, look forward to some maybe tweets, emails, messages, or whatever in the future, that usually does mean that there's something already in the works. And it would make sense, too, if it's had, like, you can almost have to go and farm the Final Fantasy cash grab a little bit more. Square Enix has had a little bit of a buffer when it comes to games and these, like, kind of not necessarily mainstay games like Final Fantasy games, so it's a little bit on the weirder side for them, probably. They probably really just want to go make sure they have like some heavy hitters and actually make money, because they've had a lot of just negative games. So Square was also asked why the company has longer gaps between game releases than its peers do, and what the board's thoughts were on the planned release schedule for upcoming major titles. He said, I will refrain from speaking in specifics, but I will say that we believe that in the strengthening of our internal development organization will be a benefit, as the difficulty of developing major titles is becoming extremely high, which also has implications for development lead times. So also trying to once again state, like, hey, it takes a little while for us to make games. It takes a little while for us to go and spend the money to make those games. And on top of this too, it just is kind of just a lot of stuff you got to worry about. Just some struggles. Like it takes time to make video games. It takes money to make video games. And if those video games haven't been doing well, which Square Enix these past few years have had not the most successful run for their games and game IPs, they got to make sure pretty much, they almost have to go to like the make it or break it type stage. Like Square Enix is going to be fine regardless, but if you want to keep on growing and expanding, you got to have some more better games. And Final Fantasy 16 has been a little bit on the iffier side in terms of sales. We already saw some of the executives stating that they may want to go on like even like a price cut sometime in the near future as well. So it's been a little bit more on the sketchier side, and it had a kind of a mediocre launch so far. So they go and say as well, we hope that this reinforces the R of our organization, will promote the development not only of major titles, but also new IPs under the new management team. In 2023 so far, Square Enix has released Forspoken, Therum Final Bar Line, Octopath Traveler 1, Pheromone Sight, The Seven Mysteries of Hanjo, and Final Fantasy 16. So they've still been releasing games too as well. And on top of this too, they have Dragon Quest, The Adventure of Dai, Infinity Strash, Star Ocean, The Second Story, and Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince, to be set and released later on as well, with also Final Fantasy 7 coming out soon, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth as well. So just got a lot of cool stuff. So all around, they do want to maybe make brand new games and kind of sit back in the old games. I really would love to see a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster / remake. That would be a golden one. I'm not sure which platforms, maybe the Switch, maybe everything, I don't know, maybe even a mobile version of it. I'd probably play that, in all honesty. Now, we also had some kind of cool stories too as well for Spider-Man. There's actually been a little bit of Spider-Man drama saying Spider-Man 2 fans insist that the 2004's game was actually better than Marvel's Spider-Man. Now, I actually never had a chance to play it, but I've seen a lot of memes and even walkthroughs of it going on over here, where fans are celebrating the anniversary of the Spider-Man game from 2004, which many believe had better web swinging, funny enough, than Marvel's Spider-Man. Not to be confused with Insomniac Games' upcoming Spider-Man 2 for that one. The game itself, this is more of the older one from 2004, which is the big comparison side. So despite the dated graphics and shockingly poor voice performances, a lot of these folks kept on saying this game was dope in terms of the web swinging. And I'm not kind of in the same boat. I have always really, really enjoyed games that are like that vibe. I love that. I love just having a chance to swing and explore open environments, or have like a cool flight mechanic, or whatever it might be. That's always been one of my bigger, funner things. So it's kind of funny. Like, a lot of folks are saying like, yeah, man, like this game better be good. This upcoming game better be good, or else we'll be a little bit disappointed on the whole side on that. Now, as well, for some other kind of cool stuff, we're seeing even more good news when it comes to Baldur's Gate, where Baldur's Gate 3 basically is saying this is like the fullest, closest thing to a full-on D&D session going on. And, well, a lot of these folks are apparently hyping on this game a little bit more than expected. So basically, a lot of people are saying this game is going to be good. Like, a lot of folks are saying, I'm already in awe to Baldur's Gate 3. And I want to check this game out. I really, really would like to go and do it. I'm a big fan of the RPGs. I would love to have a chance to get my hands on this a little bit before Starfield itself. And like I keep saying, like, a lot of folks are hyping up this game pretty heavily at the end of the day. Like, I'm actually very excited for it. Was it a pretty big PlayStation and Xbox issue going on for GTA, where they had a pretty big unlocking glitch, or basically was locking up the game for players on this stuff. So I know a lot of folks have maybe been playing it now with Game Pass. We made a video on that one. So if you guys have to be a little bit more on the careful side, make sure you guys are more careful. I don't want you guys having your game getting booted up or destroyed or anything else in between. But a lot of characters have apparently been freezing, having issues launching the game itself. Just a lot of online issues overall. Now, kind of last but not least, I'm going to throw up Zuby over here, where there's just a lot of big games up in development, because it's kind of a big gamer focus as well. Some games like Alan Wake, Alone in the Dark, Arizona Sunshine, Armored Core, which I'm really excited for, Baldur's Gate, Death Stranding 2, Final Fantasy, the remakes, Ghost Runner 2, like Eliza P, which I want to play, Marvel Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Man, Wolverine, Metal Gear Solid games, Mortal Kombat, Payday, Persona, like Silent Hill, all these other Star Wars games and everything else. And like there's a lot of games both on PlayStation exclusives, but as well just like a good general list. So it's kind of cool to go and see how many games are popping out over here, as well, and just how many good proper games are coming in the near future. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below, the brand new Howling 2 as well. Check that on out for your $50 off with your Samsung pre-orders, and I appreciate y'all so much for watching here in the first place.